What's happening, y'all? This is J-Matt from J-Matt Flicks, and have I got a treat for you. Here, I'm going to do a special video inspired by a certain YouTuber I follow called Brad's Brick Post. He does pretty cool videos like storytelling, and even made the custom minifigures of medieval versions of different movies, like Marvel, DC Comics superheroes, and Star Wars. With all those videos, I thought, hey, what if I did my own version of medieval combination stuff like that? So I decided to combine medieval fantasy with... drumroll please! Indiana Jones! Don't you know what it is? Let's dive on in! Boom! First off, we have a medieval version of Indiana Jones himself. I pictured him as a heroic knight searching for artifacts for the king. Along the way, he meets some enemies who want the artifacts for power, so he'll do whatever it takes to stop the growing evil. His legs are from the chieftain from that Viking village Lego set. His torso is from the Mandalorian in Star Wars. I kept his whip and head from today's Indiana Jones minifigure, and for when he's fighting someone, I gave him a sword. I could never figure out how to do the fedora look, so I decided to keep this knight helmet here, so since he's a knight searching for artifacts for the king, that's what he would wear on his adventures. Next up, we have Sadapo, Indiana's assistant who went with him to find the idol in the beginning of the Raiders of the Lost Ark. In this medieval world, he is Indiana's squire, who betrayed him and got greedy for the idol, and ended up getting himself trapped in those spike traps, just like in that temple in the Raiders of the Lost Ark. He is made up of this certain pale-eyed guy who Ben Kenobi sliced in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Kept his traditional hair and head from the Indiana Jones Temple Lego set. There's not much to tell about how detailed he is. Another character favorite is Miriam, Indiana's first girlfriend in the trilogy, found in the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I imagined her in the medieval world as a bartender, just like she tended the bar, like in the real movie. Indiana Jones. I've been waiting for the day you would just walk through my door. Now for the bad guys. First we have Belloc, an adventurer who is Indiana's arch enemy. He was hired by the Nazis to find all those religious artifacts. In my medieval world, Belloc was hired by orcs, who were trying to pilfer everything they could find from the humans, because Belloc was an experienced tracker and hunter back in his knighthood days. Dr. Jones. Again, you see, there is nothing you could possess which I cannot take away. And you thought I had given up. Belloc has got the armor from the Lego Castle series, the ones with the blue and white good guys and black and red bad guys. His sword is from the new Lion Knight's Castle set. His shield is from the Viking village. His head is from that Indiana Jones temple Lego set. Then we have this certain guy who is kind of like the Muscle, or I think he's Gestapo or something. But either way, he's in charge of all those Nazis. This is my medieval version of him. In the Indiana medieval world, the Gestapo guy is a blood-sucking vampire who desires to torture anybody who doesn't give him what he wants. So in the medieval world, since Marion wouldn't give him what the orcs needed, he would just scare her into doing what they want by threatening to drain every drop of blood from her body.
His body is from this certain guy you find from the Palace Cinema set. His cape is from Batman and the collar from the Black Panther. And his head is from that Skull Necromancer guy from Dungeons and Dragons. I gave him this look because the Gestapo guy that makes me think of someone who's evil yet smartly dressed.
And the last person of the villains in Raiders of the Lost Ark is the German mechanic boxer person, who Indiana has trouble fighting since he's so tough.
He is a ruthless orc who is the biggest among them all. He challenged Indiana to a fight, but he is too strong.
I took the big Hulk figure from the Avengers and modular building set, took off his hair to make him believable that he's just one of those big goblin brutes, and I borrowed the club from the troll from the Lego Hogwarts set. Now for the characters from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. First up we have Willie Scott, a singer from Shanghai, Japan. She was dragged along by Indiana when they were ambushed by gangsters.
She is an elf maiden who is a stage performer at a certain tavern, until the tavern was overrun by a bunch of scoundrel rogues who Indiana fought against when they cheated him out of a deal and tried to poison him.
The biked outfit is from Erwin, the elf from the Lego Rivendell set. The head is the female version of that elf bard from the Dungeons and Dragons theme. And the elf hair over here is from any of the elves from the Rivendell Lego set, including Legolas. Her outfit is based off of the ceremonial clothing that Willie wore inside the Temple of Kali.
Speaking of Kali, we then have the main villain of the Temple of Doom, Mola Ram, the evil priest who's been manipulating the Kingdom of India.
He is a deceitful sorcerer who persuaded the king of his country to do whatever he wants, just like Jafar from the movie Aladdin. Except this one is more powerful than Jafar ever has been.
His helmet is from Loki from the Marvel's Avengers Tower set. The face is from Professor Snape from Harry Potter. The dragon is from that purple-suited, orange-colored lady from Dungeons and Dragons. And the skull and the body is from that skull sorcerer guy from the Dungeons and Dragons as well. I based him off the colors and the skeletal stuff since he's all about this voodoo and undead and all those creepy things. I chose the dragon for him because I would imagine that he is like a cultist leader leading followers who worshipped a great dragon called Kali, just like the real Mola Ram had him and his followers worshipping a fake goddess named Kali.
And as our final character from the Temple of Doom, we have Short Round, the little kid who helped Indiana in his adventures from the Temple of Doom.
In the medieval world of mine, Short Round was a hobbit, kind of like Bilbo Baggins. And it's like Gandalf said, hobbits are light on their feet, and they are hardly even noticed, which is why, in this world, while Indy fights with Mola Ram, Short Round can sneak around and steal one of those magic stones that the cultists were collecting. If he's lucky.
Short Round's hair is from the elf bard from Dungeons and Dragons. The face is from Gray, the little kid from Jurassic World. And his feet and body, they're from Samwise Gamgee from the Rivendell Lego set. I chose these bodies to match the colors of Short Round's body that you see him and his clothes.
Next, we'll move on to the characters from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. This is my version of Indiana when he's working at the Barnett College. In my medieval world, Dr. Jones teaches all about mystic artifacts that are hidden in the fantasy world, and teaches the young squires and soon-to-be knights and battle mages how to make different potions and to deal with fantasy creatures that are too dangerous for ordinary people to face against.
His body is from Professor Snape in the Harry Potter set with the Magic Potions classroom, and his head is from the Indiana Jones minifigure himself.
This is my medieval version of Indiana Jones' dad, Henry Jones Sr., the guy who went with him on his adventures of finding the Holy Grail. Professor Jones Sr., the wise yet kooky-looking wizard, brought Sir Indiana Jones with him to find this sacred cup before the orcs come and find it themselves.
The cape and hat are from Gandalf. The head is from Henry Jones Sr. himself. The beard from Sensei Wu from Ninjago. The staff is from Brickforge. And his body is from that beige witch from the Hogwarts Lego set.
Next up, we have Marcus Brody, Indiana's teacher assistant at the Barnett College. In my medieval world, Marcus Brody is Indiana's butler. And he one time went on an adventure with Indiana when he was finding the Holy Grail in Venice, Italy. Well, maybe not Venice, but some country that represents that in the medieval world. You know what I mean.
Marcus's head is from Professor Quirrell from the Harry Potter set. His shoulder, the captain things, his body is from the governor from the Fort El Dorado Lego set.
Now here is the version I made for Elsa, the woman who helped Indiana to find Indiana's dad, but later betrayed him and joined the Nazis. At first, Indiana thought Elsa was a forest maiden who knew how to help him find his dad. But his love for her became his downfall, and he got himself captured instead.
Her hair and body is from those certain Vikings from the Viking village. Her face is poison ivy's. I based her color scheme off of the introduction of where Indy first meets her in Italy.
Here's the medieval version of Donphin, the main villain of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. He is a fancy troll who promised to help and to try to get Indiana's help and to find the Holy Grail. But the troll turned out to be a part of the movement of the orcs, and he is leading them.
Donathan's face is from the Orc General from Minifigure Series 24, and his body and legs is from the Elf Bard from the Dungeons and Dragons minifigure series. Even the cutlass is from the Elf Bard.
Finally, we go through the series of figures from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. First we have Mutt, the greaser who joins Indiana in finding that crystal skull. Since Mutt was known as a greaser, I decided to make the medieval version of Mutt as a rogue and a thief. Someone who goes against people's rules and to do whatever he wants. In the medieval world, the rogue was hired by a mysterious old woman to help find Oxley, and to do that, he needed Sir Indiana's help.
For Mutt's body, I picked the legs and body from Anakin Skywalker from the Mustafar Lego set. The blue cape is from Batman. The mask is from Ninjago. And his hair is from Gambit from the X-Mansion Lego set.
Next is the nutty old man Oxley, who became obsessed with the crystal skull once he got his eyes staring too long into it.
He was once a representative for the kingdom and was close friends with Professor Indiana until he got his hands on the crystal skull and became possessed by the skull's ultimate power. And he started seeing visions and prophecies because of it.
Oxley's face is from Frodo from the Rivendell set. That way we can switch between his eyes and the ghostly eyes to match his insanity when he is possessed by the skull. His beard and body is from Professor Dumbledore, so they can match the gray and red colors.
And here's my medieval version of Mac. The guy you see as a partner with Indiana when Indiana and he were kidnapped by the Russians in the beginning. But it turns out Mac was one of the Russians, sadly enough.
In the medieval world, Mac was a stubborn dwarf who only wants whatever his heart desires, like the gold that the Russian people have offered to him, which raises a conflict between him and Indiana. And as time went by, the conflicts had gone higher and riskier until it gets even more violent.
The face is from Whiplash from a Lego Iron Man Armory set. The hammer is from the Viking Village. The shield from the Ninjago and Dragon Arena. And the golden armor is from that old Lego Castle set of that tower with that queen in it. And the shoulder pads are from Ninjago as well.
For our last and final minifigure, we have Irina Spalko, the Russian swordsman who leads the Russians into finding the crystal skull.
In my made-up medieval world, I imagine Spalko as a samurai since she's such a great fighter. And to make a perfect match between that sword fight you find in King with the Crystal Skull, I have him face off against a agile rogue like Mutt. Can his skills match the finesse sword skills of the samurai Spalko?
The hair is from the nurse woman from the Avengers Tower Lego set. Her face is from Kate Bishop from the Marvel's minifigures series. The shoulder pads are from the Prince of Persia assassin from a certain Lego set. I think it's that Ambush. The sword sheath is from Dastan the Prince of Persia himself. Wait, that was black. I'm sorry. The black one is from Blade from that Daily Bugle set. The body is from one of the Vikings in that Viking Village set. And the legs are from Dastan the Prince of Persia. And these are all 19 minifigures to represent all the characters from the entire Indiana Jones series, from Raiders of the Lost Ark, to the Temple of Doom, to the Last Crusade, and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Be sure to like, subscribe, and put in the comments whatever else you want me to create. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember kids, archaeology is a search for facts.